Hi everyone, welcome to my coaching channel. Today's video is a part of a series about domains and each theme in each domain of strengths. And so our first video was about strategic thinking. If you missed that video, go ahead and click on this link up here to check it out. But today we're going to be focusing on the influencing domain. The influencing domain has 8 themes. Influencing is all about presence. How do you influence others? This can show up as taking up space. How do you command a room? And this can sometimes be hard to understand. So an easy way I like to think about influencing themes is these are the folks who walk into a room and you just notice them. They have a very strong presence and a sense of authority that draws other folks closer to them. And so as I share about these 8 themes, listen closely to imagine if maybe you have one of these strengths or someone close to you does. Let's start. Activator is the first strength we're talking about today. And that makes sense because activators love to kick things off. They love to start something new and just run forward with it. Folks with Activator love to turn their thoughts into actions. Y'all, it's like a straight line. If they have an idea, if there's already a solution, why are we waiting around? Activator is the person you can rely on to get things started and moving. For example, this is going to be the friend in the group chat that's always reading about these ideas of going to Spain and traveling the world. So Activator is the one who's already looking up on Google flights when's the cheapest time to go. Activator has the root word of active in it. So think about those in your life who are just ready to get rolling and get really excited to start something off. Maybe that sounds like you. Those who lead with command have an obvious presence. They're able to take a stance and make a decision and move forward with it. Those who lead with command have high convictions and a high sense of confidence. They want to ensure that they inform other people of what they've learned or what they know and move together as a group towards that. An example of how command might show up is someone who works in the field of emergency response. Those with command are able to handle high crisis, high stressful situations and be able to inform others on what the best decision is. Their level of conviction and confidence allows them to move through really hard situations because of their intuition on what they know is best. People who lead with communication have such a beautiful way of putting their ideas and thoughts into words. Folks with communication are the storytellers. They're the conversationalists. They're the ones who are sharing stories at the party. Those with communication are able to breathe new life into a plan or an idea to make it not just a reality, but to get other folks on board with it. For example, communication might show up as someone writing a LinkedIn post. They have these great ideas and have a really beautiful, talented way to express that ideas that allows others to join them on it. Next, let's talk about competition. Those who lead with competition love a good contest. The strength is all about how they can measure their progress or performance by comparing it to other people. Competition isn't about just beating others at a game. Competition is actually a very intrinsic motivation to be the very best they can be. Those with competition are the ones who are motivators. They're the ones on the team that say, hey, let's ship out this new product by the end of the week. I know we can do it. Or competition might show up as the coach or the friend on your team that's saying, hey, let's practice extra hard this week so that we can beat our record in the match. People who lead with maximizer have the talent in recognizing what's great in something or someone and spending their energy to make it even better. Those who lead with maximizer strive for excellence. They are energized by something that is good and they're like, wow, how do we devote more time and energy into it, invest in it to make it even better? Here are a few examples of how maximizer might show up. Let's think about a dinner party. Maximizer might be the host of said dinner party, and they're going to be spending a lot of time perfecting how the dinner table looks. They're the ones thinking, where do the candles go? How do we set up the plates? Is this even the right color tablecloth? Because they want to make sure they maximize the elegance and the fun and the atmosphere of that dinner party. Let's switch to a professional lens of maximizer. Maximizer might show up in a colleague who might be designing a presentation for a conference. They're not the ones just thinking about the literal PowerPoint of this presentation. They're the one who's going to make sure there's flashcards for everybody, there's materials, there's markers, there's pens, the tables are set up and even decorated too, to ensure that their workshop presentation at this conference isn't just something to look at, it's something to admire and remember. Self-assurance is exactly what it sounds like. Folks who lead with self-assurance are self-assured about themselves. They have so much confidence in their ability that they're not afraid to take risks and try something new. Their confidence acts like an inner compass. They trust their intuition so much that they have this conviction and compelling way to talk about their ideas and goals. An example of how self-assurance might show up is at work. You might have a teammate or a colleague who's working really hard on a proposal. They believe so much in this new idea, this new program, that they are willing to go all the way up to the CEO to share about their own brilliance and why this program should happen. Next, let's talk about significance. Those who lead with significance care so deeply that their actions and decisions make a positive impact. Those with significance are really aware that they have influence in the world and they want to make sure that influence matters. Significance prioritizes their energy towards ideas and projects and tasks that's going to make the most positive impact in their community, at work, or in their family. What's interesting about significance is not only about their actions and what they put forth into the world, they also want to feel like they matter too. And so it's not about them always having the spotlight. They also want to be significant themselves and be valued for the gifts they bring. Last but not least, let's talk about woo. And so woo isn't woohoo. Woo is actually an acronym for winning over others. Those who lead with woo are able to connect with folks so easily and feel really motivated to have those folks join in on the fun or the project they're dedicating themselves towards. Think of woo as a bumblebee. Somebody with woo is going to talk to all the new people and all the strangers with no hesitation. They love connecting strangers to become friends or connect them to a product that might be useful in the future. With that bumblebee example, woo is the person that's not going to hesitate to introduce themselves and highly network with others. Let's talk about how woo might show up. In the context of work, somebody with woo as one of their top 5 strengths might be the perfect person to help convince a few partners and stakeholders to align on a decision. Not only are those with woo convincing, but they have that personal skill to understand, what do my partners and stakeholders need? And does this idea bring them along on that need to something that is more beneficial for the entire group? And that was all 8 of the influencing themes. And so as you were listening and learning alongside this video, did any of these themes stand out to you? Or maybe you already have one of these in your top 5 strengths. Let me know in the comments below because I would love to learn about it. If you liked this content, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button to learn more about your strengths. And stay tuned because we have 2 more videos coming up just about the domains.